So what's up guys, my name is Ratatouille and today I want to briefly talk to you about cornering and exposing your angles in Battlefield 4 and both Battlefield Hardline. This will apply to both games. It's a pretty simple technique, and also optic setup in both games. I believe it's probably in Battlefield Hardline, I'm not quite sure. So in this video, as you can see, exposing yourself to different angles will obviously help you get an advantage over the enemy in this circumstance. I'm only exposing myself to really one angle. As you can probably tell from the minimap, my teammates are both left and behind me, so they're really sort of a fallback point for me and how I sort of can interpret the angles. So I'm only really worried about the angle in front of me, which is obviously where the enemy are. I know that the enemy will have to either push left or the angle I'm facing to sort of get behind me, so I know I'm good left and also behind for covering my position. So yes, using your teammates as a sort of a point of reference of where the enemy are and a sort of a safe boundary will help you determine where and what angles you need to be exposing yourself to. So using your cover obviously will help you change up the game a little bit. So here is a great example of how I expose my angles. I presumed left was covered as my enemies had come out. I know now it's not, so I fall back to a sort of a safe point where I know our team captures it, and I only expose little bits of myself at a time. So when you're cornering, it's really good to come off the corner you're trying to peek about 4 or 5 meters in-game meters. This allows you to expose yourself a lot easier and at smaller angles at a time. As you can see, I come around and take a few guys out just by coming off the corner, exposing myself to angles at small points at a time, and I sort of already have a reference of where they're going to be standing because my knowledge of the map. So I do that. As we can see, I've got a friendly through there, so I make a quick push to the revive, see an enemy, and then bang, he's run off. So I know we should be good. See some enemies shooting, I know we're not, so quickly take them out, and then we're done. As you can see, my teammates are already running through, so I know I'm pretty much either they're going to get shot before me or I'm safe. So I sort of use friendlies can be used as bait pretty much. You don't always need to be the first one to run in because you're usually going to get yourself killed. Here, as you can see, I push up. I know they're coming from the left. I can see them all popping out, so I quickly duck to the left hand corner because they're not going to be able to come around. Then as I push over to the right quickly to expose myself to only that front angle. I know the right of me is covered because all of my friendlies are already looking straight. So then I come left, and then I come around this corner. I know I quickly look around, no one there, and then I duck behind this box. This only leaves one angle, which is obviously the angle I'm aiming down now, exposed. I quickly take out that guy, and unfortunately I didn't really check my angles as I came around there, which is a mistake which got me killed. A technique used especially in Operation Locker, which is running around the outside, allowed me to flank and get those quickly 3 kills, which you can see my team pushed through. So as I'm running up here, I know my team, I've got 4 or 5 other teammates already 50 meters ahead of me, so I know I'm good, so I can pretty much sprint without actually having to be aware of what's around me. When people start dying, sorry I got to burp. When people start getting shot or start shooting, that's when you know you sort of have to sort of take your angles a little bit more seriously. So as you can see, I peek around here, I come wide, and then I know my angles are clear, so I come straight back in and hug the left hand side. I know they're not going to be coming from the right because that's out of bounds. I know they're either going to be coming straight or from the left. If they come from the left, they're going to have to come and expose themselves to the enemy will have to expose themselves to a lot of angles, so I know I'm covered there. And as I come inside, I quickly duck behind this wall. I made the silly mistake of popping out here thinking my teammates were running through, so I'm like, yep, I'm good. And as you can see, we weren't. There's a guy there and quite a few enemies. So as I take that kill, I quickly duck behind this cover here and I only expose myself to this one front angle here. I know the left is covered because my teammates are surrounding there and they're covering left. So all I have to worry about is really that doorway behind if that wall gets blown up, which it hasn't been done so far. So as I take a kill, I quickly duck back to that one angle of exposure, which I know there are a few enemies down there, so I'm only exposing myself there. As I can see, a few of my teammates are getting a little bit short, so I come quickly see if I can help out. Nothing there. People spawn on my friendlies, so I come back here to this angle. When I get shot from the left here, I hug the left wall, only exposing myself to the right now. And as I know it's a sort of a bad position, I quickly duck in behind cover. Using little gaps such as this one here also is a great way to prevent yourself from being fully exposed. As you can see, I'm using it as both a cover I can shoot through and also duck behind as cover and pop out. I was a bit lucky there. I don't know if they had a spawn beacon or that people just kept spawning on this one guy, but as you can see, I used that bit of cover really effectively and didn't really need to rush and risk myself from getting shot at all, as I'm still on 100% health. Then I can see, I can hear now sniper shots going past me, and I can see a little red Dorito on the minimap. So I know I'm hugging this wall here. Unfortunately, I think that guy gets the kill, and I check behind me just in case. There's not really many teammates behind. So the guy's gotten the kill, so I can really push up. Now, optic setup, I advise you guys go on a map such as Lankang Dam with 0 players and go to an environment which has most of the colours you would find all around the map. So greens, I've got a sandy yellow sort of thing here, and also browns, and compare your sight. So when you're adjusting your colours, you really need to find an area like this one, which has lots of bright colours, because that's which you compare your sights to, and set it up. You really need to just play around with all of the colors. Obviously people have preferences. I don't know if, I think it was more of an incentive to be able to customize your sight, but a lot of people are using it as an advantage. So greens and yellows obviously won't be very helpful in this sort of environment because they sort of blend in a bit more. You won't really need to worry about greys or anything because all of the colors stand out against grey except for black, obviously. So you won't need to worry about greys. You just need to worry about setting up your sight with greens and sort of rocks and stuff around you, as they're going to be the ones where you're going to lose sight of your optic in shooting your enemies. So I play around with my colouring. I choose a sort of a pinky purple sort of colour. This stands out really well, especially when I size it to 150. It stands out well against the yellows, the greens, and obviously the browns. And then obviously my sizing will be affected. So if I make it smaller, it's harder to see. But as I'm a sort of a red dot sort of person, I also use holographics. I change it to 150 max size. Holographics, as you can see, the size changes the circle surrounding the dot. This doesn't really make a difference. You really just use the dot in the middle as a guideline. So 150 is good for me. I like it nice and big, being able to track my sight really well. Obviously, if you're going to use a coyote sight, the sight changes the spread on the 3 prongs in the middle, as you can see here. So making your size a lot bigger will make it less accurate, and then smaller will be more accurate, but it might be a little bit harder to sort of follow your optic, and you might lose it when you're in a firefight or even just running around. You might lose your optic really easily if it's really small. So it's just a mindful sort of thing when you're setting it up. Glow, as you can see I'm changing here, adjust the crispness of the sight. So more glow means it's going to become fuzzy around the edges. Less glow, it will become transparent. So you really just need to play around. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give a thumbs up or a subscribe, whatever you guys do. Leave a comment if you want me to review something, a gun, do a video, how-to video. GTA, I also have that game, so if you want to just hit me up with some comments, feel free to do so. I hope you guys like the video. Cheers.